All right, all right, all right. Moving right along into the final segment of the podcast. We were just talking about government fuckery or whatnot. The people haven't been wearing masks this whole time. They stopped listening to the government because uh, they're uncredible and Dr. Fauci is trash. We want him fucking removed from office. They literally had a fucking riot in the Capitol and brought fucking gallows. Most states have been switching to constitutional carry as Texas joins the ranks of the constitutional carry, and we'll get into that in a second. It's the American people have spoken. We have more gun rights now than we did in the 80s. Americans are walking back gun rights because we don't agree with your gun control measures, but you're still trying to force it, saying that that is what Americans want, when quite clearly Americans have fucking told you that isn't what we fucking want. But let's get into this article. I just the government's trash. It's time to absolve the ties that bind. It's time to take up arms, and if they try to get violent over it, it's time to fucking defend your rights with any means necessary.
That's how winning is done.
Texas legislator approves constitutional carry gun measure. Austin, Texas. Texas is poised to remove one of its last gun restrictions after lawmakers approved allowing people to carry handguns without a license and the background check and training that go with it.
Winning.
Excellent. I mean, you get a background check when you buy the fucking firearm. So if they're going to sell you the firearm, you've already passed that. But you should probably go to training because the firearm can and will fail you when you need it the most, and you should know how to properly use it. The Republicans-dominated legislation approved it the measure Monday, sending it to Governor Greg Abbott, who said he will sign in despite the objections of law enforcement groups who say it would endanger the public and police. New Hampshire is in the top 3 safest places to live in the United States of America, and we're constitutional carry, so that fucking police officer should lose his badge because he's a lying sack of human garbage. Gun control groups also opposed the measure, noting that states' recent history of mass shootings included those at the El Paso Walmart, a church of Southern Springs, and a high school outside Houston. Each of those attacks, assailants primarily assaulted style rifles, not handguns. And firearms can be used to fight against the government for the right things. Take the fucking the that happened in the West with those ranches or whatever, where they seized that federal wildlife refuge because the government had illegally taken that land and they wanted it returned to the owner. And they came back and they fucking exchanged fire with the goddamn FBI and the goddamn feds, but they still won in court because the feds are fucking unconstitutional, treasonous garbage. Texas has already some of the loosest gun laws in the country and has more than 1.6 million licensed handgun holders. Supporters of the bill say it would allow Texans to better defend themselves in public while abolishing unnecessary impediments to the constitutional right to bear arms. Exactly. Once all gun laws, all gun registrations are infringements on our constitutional right. If you want to fucking make fucking common sense regulations when it comes to gun control, then you need to hold a convention of states and take the time to get 36 fucking to ratify that and do it the right fucking way. Supporters of the bill say, yeah, we already wrote, abolishing unnecessary impediments called bear arms. Once signed into law, Texas will join nearly 24 other states that allow some form of unregulated carry of handguns, and by far the most populous. Texas already allows rifles to be carried in public without a license. The measure sent to Abbott would allow anyone aged 21 or older to carry a handgun as long as they don't have violent crime convictions or some other legal prohibition in their background. But there would be no way to weed them out without the state background check currently in the licensing process. Actually, there is a way to weed them out because there is a federal background check every time you purchase a motherfucking firearm. The Hill would not prevent businesses and just before that, I know I got, but the fucking private sales, blah 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 blah. If you're fucking dumb enough to sell a private sale weapon to a fucking person without fucking conducting your own background check on their ass, because you can fucking do that, you're a fucking piece of crap. The bill would not prevent businesses from banning guns on their property, and federal background checks from the guns purchases would remain in place. Texas has no straight restrictions on private gun sales. Texas has allowed people to carry handguns since 1995 and has been reducing the cost and training requirements for getting a license for the last decade. Yes, this is leading the way. This is how it should be fucking done. Our fucking constitutional rights are not up to the whim of the United States government. The Constitution doesn't tell the government it doesn't tell us what what our rights are. It tells the government what they can't fuck with. I don't care how intelligent a gun regulation is. It violates the Second Amendment of the Constitution of these United States. Without a convention of states and a constitutional convention to fucking confirm it, there is absolutely no way to legally institute a gun law. Period. The 10th Amendment says all that not specified by the Constitution is up to the states or the people respectively. And the right to bear arms is designated by the Constitution. So all of these laws that you say are passed by the states under the guise of the 10th Amendment is fucking garbage. Because the 10th Amendment only covers things not covered by the Constitution, and the right to bear arms is covered by the fucking Constitution. Our rights are not up to fucking scrutiny. They are absolute loot.
That's how winning is done.
And if somebody tries to take them from you or regulate them or suppress them in any way, that is an open declaration of war against your persons, and you should treat it as such.
That's how winning is done.
It's time to invoke the Declaration of Independence, because the United States government is garbage. It has lost all its motherfucking credibility. And I'd rather be in open warfare than dealing with these fucking stupid Democrat leftist pieces of trash. I'm done compromising with my motherfucking rights. You're going to restore the Constitution and its full functionality, or you can get shot in the motherfucking face.
That's how winning is done.
If you try to, like, I'm not going to come at you. I'm not going to attack you. But if you come at me, I'm going to fucking defend myself because I have the legal right to do so. I will utilize my rights, and I will defend them to anyone that tries to fucking suppress them. Because that is how winning is done. You can't expect to fucking vote in a broken system to fix a broken system, because the system is broken, and it's not going to fucking function properly. To think a broken system is going to function properly when it's broken is the fucking most unintelligent, irrational fucking thought process I've heard from rational human beings my entire fucking life.
Winning? No. You suck.
Even people, I'm saying that human beings, because even the people on the right somehow think that voting is going to fix this garbage. We're beyond that. I don't know what it's going to take to get you fucking people to think that, but it's time for us to fucking absolve the tallest that bind, go about our daily lives without listening to the goddamn government or the law, and defend ourselves when they try to fucking enforce their uncredible, illegitimate fucking authority, because they no longer have the consent of the governed after the last year and a half. And it's been evidenced with 600% fucking gun prices. It's evident with them wanting fucking bullshit that the people don't fucking want. But they continue to do it anyway. And if they're going to continue to do it anyway, when do we call them a tyrannical piece of government and invoke the fucking Declaration of Independence and water that fucking tree? I'm just fucking saying. But anyways, this is all we have for today. As always, I'm Dr. Mo. This has been my thought of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.